Well, it's that time of year again, and I can't believe it. There's just a different excitement level. There's a little bit more certainty. We needed it last year at this time. I think we hadn't even maybe had an official practice yet, and now we're already 6 practices in, starting today, and already formed as a team. And we had a great summer. We had a great off season. I think we made a lot of changes in our culture, and certainly our roster looks pretty different. And we're excited about it. I mean, there's a new energy, and I love this team. They are competitive. They are scrapping. They are clawing. They are loud. One of the, I think, signature things of my favorite teams is they always play with a lot of energy, and they're always over communicated, instead of doubting and like pointing and like thinking it was someone else's job. People that would say, I got this, or I got the ball, or I'll take her, and a lot of early communication, but decisive communication. And when you have a new roster, that's shocking to me. I mean, they've really gelled. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying watching film. And I'll watch the practice at night and think it was a good practice, and then watch the practice and feel even better about the team, where that's very rare. Usually I'm watching film going, well, I was a little too excited, and we got a lot to work on. We do have a ton to work on, but the things that are important at this time of year in your early practices are showing up on film.
Thank you, Coach. Our first question comes from Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. Go ahead, Michelle.
My first question is, why does everyone have their camera turned off? Because I want to see everyone. I miss everybody. Okay. Hi, Kobe, by the way. Anyway, Katie, 2 things. One is, you said the culture changed. If you could just expound on that a little bit, what changed in the culture? And then I wanted to ask you about having Makia back, how she's doing. And I mean, that was obviously such a huge loss last year. What is it like to have her back?
Well, the first answer, I think, is just last year, it was kind of the Columbus effect, where you're driving over a bridge and you don't know what's on the other side, so you slow down, right? I mean, you just don't know if you're going to play a game. You don't know. So you have these goals. I want to be all conference. Are we even having a conference? I mean, I want to be an All-American. Will there be an NCAA tournament? I mean, all the goals you couldn't define. And so you're driving over a bridge to nowhere, and you can't play as fast and as furious and as fierce and as gutsy as you want to, even though you think you are. And I would assume a lot of coaches are going through that same thing, but I do think our style really is, you need to know that it's worth busting your tail. It's going to be worth it to get up at 6 a.m. and do extra conditioning, because your goals are interwoven in that type of investment in yourself. And I just don't know that we invested as much last year out of fear, to be honest.
And then Makia.
Makia Gray. Wow, does she look good? She is, she's asking for a lot of film, showing a ton of leadership, really being vocal. I think she looks around and realizes, like, the direction of this team. She's the captain. I don't mean the captain of the ship. She's the one that has to steer the direction of the team. So she's not settling for anything less than excellence, and really raising the bar and really demanding from her teammates. But physically, she's only been fully released for about, she's been in every practice and competing in every practice. And it's a matter of us kind of saying, hey, that you've gone over your 2 hours. We're going to make sure you're not doing a lot at the end of practice. But if we didn't pull her out, she would be doing everything. She is certainly capable of doing everything and doing it well.
As a reminder, use the raise hand function if you have a question. Michelle,
I have more.
You keep going. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to keep on going. I want to ask you about the new players. You have a transfer player that's a Spanish player who was at Utah, I believe. If you could tell us about her. And Lachey Dwyer, I've read a lot about her as a point guard. If you could just kind of take us through some of the new players and what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I would say right now, this group of additions are very high level. They're very high level. They are learning at a very fast pace. They're playing at a very fast pace. I think you'll see with Lachey Dwyer, who is a very, very talented freshman. Jalea Williams, local, way I mean, what a steal she was. She is as fast. I'll call her the Barracuda because her closing speed, it reminds me when I'm fishing and I got a nice fish on the line and then a Barracuda comes from the water and just grabs my fish. And that's Jalea. She's that fast. It's a little bit like Bebe. She's not as explosive, but she's certainly as fast as Raquana Williams was. And then you've got Jasmine Roberts, and all of those three come in with some type of accolade: player of the year in their state, player of the year in their region, player of the year in their conference, whatever. Unbelievable players. And then I think Lola, the transfer from Utah, has been just slid right in. I mean, slid right in. She's ready for a big role on this team. She's a team player. But she scores low on the block. She can shoot the three, and very vocal, and loves our defensive style. And so she's definitely, those four have been hugely impactful to start.
Well, I'll keep going then.
Yeah.
Katie, we're having a little one-on-one interview here. Can you talk about how different it's going to be to have fans, just to be able to, you were just saying before, the atmosphere is obviously different this year. The pandemic is still out there, but you're able to do more, and there's going to be more people will be allowed in the building. How much of a factor will that be?
We actually invited the student group category 5 to practice yesterday, their leadership group, and I got them some pizza after practice and just shared those thoughts. They watched practice and realized our style of play is something that the fans are going to love. So we started trying to create some new traditions based on, a steal and a layup or an 8-0 run. I mean, that's the kind of thing I think, but we are absolutely playing towards the energy with the expectation that that home court advantage will keep our energy up.
I'm going to do one more for you, Michelle.
One more? All right. Well, let's go back to some of the veterans then. Destiny, Kelsey, what I know different people work on different things in the off season. What can we expect to see from them this year?
Well, I think when you talk about, so we return, I mean, Maikia didn't play last year. So if half of our team, if you split the 14 down the middle, 7 didn't play last year for Miami and 7 did. The 7 who did need to be incredibly poised, help with the transition, make sure the system, the comprehension of the system is all there. And then they have to perform at a very, very high level, which you expect. You expect that from Kelsey Marshall, who literally has recommitted. When you see her, she even recommitted to her conditioning. I mean, she really is very serious and very focused about being a dominant player this year. Her defensive efforts through the roof right now. So she's been great. Destiny Harden is coming off a little bit of an ankle sprain. So she's not full yet, but she's just, I thought she ended the season as great as anyone. I think Destiny and Naomi and Bandu, return and kind of lock up that really, that solid veteran swing position for us that makes a lot of decisions. And right now, Kenza and Mulan City Baba, they're both on their way back from an injury. So, we're working through a lot of different lineups, and but the veterans, I just need to plug them in wherever so the freshmen or the newcomers are learning, and they're effective and they're productive. So the veterans are kind of filling in around them and helping everybody contribute. But I love my roster. I think we got a lot of talent.